Hello there, Deepti. Sorry for the small delay in getting your work back to you. As I mentioned maybe an hour or two ago, I said I'd be jumping on it later today, so here we are. Local governments are pushing companies to move from large cities to regional locations. What are the benefits and drawbacks of this? Okay, so ideally, body paragraph 1, benefits, body paragraph 2, drawbacks. Experts throughout the development have argued whether or not forcing companies to shift to remote locations is beneficial. Beautiful. But this had been excellent. Some diverse players instead of a few major capital would not have been accumulated at only those selected popular areas. In fact, those funds could have been distributed to smaller regions, which would have helped them for their development. Beautiful. However, there's some high risks of disruption to small cities' quiet and peaceful life due to this drastic shift. This essay will discuss pros and cons. Maybe put the pros and cons of relocating companies from metropolis to regional areas using examples from government authorities such as Haryana government and prestigious universities like Delhi University. Bit of repetition here. What could we say instead? Prestigious what? Institutions, organizations, such as, I always think such as sounds slightly more formal, Delhi University, and then I would capitalize the U there because it's its name. To demonstrate points and prove arguments. Beautiful. It could be challenging to transfer staff from large cities to remote and less popular regions, as there would be huge arrangements to be made for additional accommodation required in those areas. Okay, so I'm not a fan of starting with a demonstrative. So I would have gone with transitioning, or even, let's just see, okay, yeah, so forcing companies or transferring companies could be challenging. Okay, and I've got transfer there, so relocating companies could be challenging. Could be challenging because transferring staff from large. The thing is, I just don't want to start with that. I would rather start with the actual topic. There might be the need to cut down forests to build apartments in order to fulfill the spiked demand of housing. Okay. Okay. Let's just see. If a company moves to a nearby region which is inadequate in providing houses for an increased population, real estate companies will certainly try to buy farms and destroy forests surrounding the city to build more apartments. It's a small problem with this sentence, to buy farms. Okay. Would certainly. Okay. So the problem here, Deepti, we're talking about staff, we're talking about forests, okay, so I'm just trying to think. I like we've got the hypothetical argument as well, okay. Recent research by Haryana government showed that 76% of Aravalli forest had been destroyed surrounding Gurugram city due to skyrocketing demand for residences in the last 12 years because of the establishment of a large number of firms. Beautiful. In the past, Gurugram was a minor city of India, mainly a natural habitat until large companies shifted there. Okay, relocated would be better. If precautions were taken and companies were discouraged from congesting the city, the forest could have been saved. Hence, shifting businesses to regional cities could be dangerous for nature and wildlife. Okay, good. By the way, again, lovely here. I like the development here, okay. One thing to consider is perhaps sort of like developing. I'll give you an example of that in a second, though certainly are some risks which can jeopardize nature in remote cities. Its advantages cannot be ignored. Okay, so here's just a tip. Okay, yeah, we followed it. So I was just going to mention the body paragraphs usually should reflect the question order as well, so the drawbacks. So yeah, I was right actually. So I would have gone with the benefits first and then the drawbacks second. I mean, though it is proven from the survey conducted by a survey, because we haven't really mentioned it before. If we had mentioned it in this sentence, then we could say the specific survey, but we didn't, so we have to say a survey conducted by a few persons such as Delhi University. 78% of wealth is concentrated in a few main cities of India, due to which there is a huge gap. I'm sure we've already said huge before. Huge is definitely an adjective. There's plenty variations there. Let me just check. Yeah, we did 3 times. Okay, there is a significant, gigantic and enormous. Yeah, there's plenty of synonyms in the but I know what it's like. You get one word in your head and it seems to stick there and gets produced a lot. So I know exactly right. We've probably got 3 versions, due to which there is a huge gap in the lower and middle class societies. If companies were to move to the other parts of the country, it would tremendously help those cities and distribute capital throughout the country. For instance, if employees are relocated to a remote rural area, there will be additional expenditure on groceries, household items, restaurants, groceries, gyms, and so on in that area. Excellent. Province, again, just variation. Which will, I would have gone for which would bring wealth to local communities. Not only would this support them and bring prosperity in those areas, but also help reduce the gap between lower and middle class citizens. I think, yeah. Therefore, it can be stated beyond that forcing companies to move, yeah, infinitive, to move to minor cities truly has many profound benefits. Beautiful, beautiful. Though there are certain serious concerns in a huge change of relocating businesses. No, wrong preposition. Regarding. Have a look at the word regarding. I think it's incredibly useful. Though there are certain serious issues regarding a large change of relocating businesses to regional places, that might still prove enormous. Okay, singular. It still might prove enormous help combating the issue of capital disbalance. Beautiful. This will surely have a significant and positive impact on the prosperity of the cities which are underdeveloped. I firmly believe that this would bring a positive change in the country in the future. Beautiful. Okay, so I just put something like environmental concerns here, because that's the main issue here. All right, and now the conditional. Just pause. So this is the new framework I'm working on, and according to the essay checker we have, we can get to a band like 8.5 using this framework. Okay, I'm just going to load up. Okay, so this is one of the essays written using the framework. Okay, so you can pause it and go through it later, but I'll just reload it and I'll just talk you through it. Okay, so I think I would like to see an essay from you using this, and give me feedback on using it as well. Sorry, so I wanted to just show you the essay. So the key difference here, all right, and this is a new framework, as you know. So for instance, if, right, so we start with a hypothetical argument and then we just develop it a little bit further. Okay, it could and we're using the conditionals. It could lead to this outcome may seem special. Okay, and we just carry on developing and developing. Okay, on the other hand, it cannot be destroyed. Sure, is the possibility of a world without scientific evidence. Not only. Okay, so again, there's sort of like two ideas developed a little bit further. There's the question as well, a little bit further. Okay, so have a look at this. Just reload it again. Okay, so you can see, like, firstly, it's important to consider the potential ramifications if companies were forced to relocate into remote cities, into remote locations. For instance, if society were to fully embrace the forced relocation of companies, it could lead to huge, huge environmental negative consequences. And then you'd probably have to expand that. For example, forests or other green areas may have to be destroyed, and in order to build accommodation for the workers of the companies. This outcome may seem, especially when it has such a negative impact on the environment, which is definitely catastrophic in a time of climate change. Okay, full stop. Furthermore, okay, so I guess that would be enough. By considering these possible complexity of the issue, can you see? So it's kind of sort of like just hypothesizing a little bit more and using more conditionals, more modals, just to demonstrate the point. So try and incorporate this framework in your next essay. Hi Pooja, I'm so happy that you're arriving in Mumbai. I'm ecstatic. I'm over the moon. Okay, and I'm guessing this is your friend, a relative. Okay, so we could definitely use contractions. I'm absolutely over the moon. I'm truly ecstatic. I would have gone for ecstatic, actually. Ecstatic or over the moon. You're arriving in Mumbai for 7 days and will stay with me. You cannot imagine how excited I am to see you and to show you around. Beautiful. As a great little start there with the conjunction. As your flight is landing tomorrow at 3 p.m. in the afternoon, I'll not be able to pick you up from the airport, but you can get my keys from the guard at my apartment gate. My home is about 25 kilometers. Don't think we need to capitalize kilometers from the airport, and you can hire a taxi you can get a taxi. You can catch a taxi. I wouldn't have said hire a taxi. At the airport travel desk that will drop you in about 1 hour. Okay. Yeah, comma. I'd put a comma in there, just so that will drop you off at our house, at my apartment, in about 1 hour. Or, comma, the journey should take about 1 hour. Okay, anyway, there's always a little bit of traffic on that route, so it could take a little longer too. Okay, good. Yeah, I was just thinking 25 kilometers, 60 minutes. That's a slow rate. But, yeah, good one. You explained it. Live in the city centre, so there should not be any problems in finding the route, and the taxi driver will easily drop you. Conditionals again. Should be able to drop you at my apartment. Once arrived, you can just ask at the security gate for the keys in my name, and they should hand it to you. I've already talked to them about your visit, and they will be expecting you in the afternoon. Beautiful. Can't wait to see you and have been planning what we can do once you are here. Excellent sentence there. Okay, just one what we can do. I'm not a big fan of, in the IELTS, I'm not a big fan of do and be, because I'm always convinced there is a richer alternative. I guess I'm already planning what we can do, what we can visit, what we can achieve. I guess okay, in this one I'll let it go, but just in general, there are many coffee shops nearby where there are also live music shows at night. Beautiful. Luckily, there is also a beach just a walking distance. Okay, we don't need it, the A there. Also, there is a beach just walking distance from my home, so we can go there too if you would like to. It looks amazing at night when the city is lit. Excellent. And the view is spectacular. Beautiful. Cook your favorite applesauce pasta. That sounds crazy. Okay. Never heard of that, but just applesauce pie, maybe. But so just be careful there tomorrow to welcome you at my humble abode. Beautiful. Wish you a safe and enjoyable flight. Thanks, Deepti. Super. Excellent work there, Deepti. So yeah, if you've got time, try and use that new framework. Let me know any of the difficulties that you might have, and I'll be releasing a proper tutorial about that framework in the next week or so. Okay? Alright, speak soon. All the best.